Hi there, and welcome to a new video. This is Molly McCord, and we're going to take a look at the Ingress chart for Uranus entering Taurus. Now, it's called the Ingress chart, and it basically shows us what is happening with the planets, what's happening in the sky when a planet changes signs. So, on May 15th, 2018, at 11:16 a.m. Eastern Time, that is exactly when Uranus enters Taurus. Now, this chart is cast for Washington, D.C., and so it means that these are the house placements of the planets for Washington, D.C. However, the chart would look different if you are in London, England, or Sydney, Australia, or Los Angeles, California. The house placements would be different. So in this reading, I'm not going to reference the houses. I'm only going to talk about the energies and the planets. Now, this is from the Mountain Astrologer magazine, and you should check out that publication. They have a new issue that comes out every 2 months, and it has these charts, and it has great articles. So that's what's being referenced here, is that there's a big article on Uranus in Taurus in this current edition. So we're going to talk about the energies of Uranus entering Taurus. It has not entered Taurus for 84 years. So if you are 84 or 85, you are going to be having what's called your Uranus return. If you are not 84 or 85, well, then you probably don't remember. You weren't alive the last time Uranus entered Taurus, which was 1934 to 1942. Now, on May 15th is when the planet enters Taurus. It's going to stay here until November 6th. And then Uranus is going to go retrograde back into Aries for about 4 or 5 months. So November 6th to March 6th, 2019, Uranus goes back into Aries to finish up its business there, to give one more hurrah, and then it moves into Taurus permanently, March 6, 2018, until April 2026. So we're basically getting an appetizer or a sneak peek at what Uranus in Taurus is going to reveal and shake up and show us. Now, anytime an outer planet changes signs, we feel it in a collective level, but we also feel it individually. So what you want to do is look at where 0 degrees of Taurus is in your natal astrology chart, and that shows you where the energy change is happening and what is being really, brought to your awareness in a whole new way. Now, in this video, I'm going to focus specifically on this chart, but I'm going to give you another video that talks more about the energies overall of Uranus entering Taurus. So consider this part 1, and that other video will have even more in-depth information. So let's take a look at what is going on May 15th. Now, it's quite an interesting day because we just had hours earlier the new moon in Taurus. You can see that the moon has now moved to 26 degrees of Taurus and the sun is still at 24 degrees of Taurus. So we already have this energy of newness in Taurus coming through. And then we have Uranus entering Taurus. So here he is at 0 degrees of Taurus, 0 minutes. And he's practically conjunct Mercury, who's at 3 degrees of Taurus and 18 minutes. Now, Mercury and Uranus have a very interesting connection. Mercury is our human mind. Our daily lives are the way that we think and talk and process information. It's our daily travels. It's how we move through our lives on a daily basis. However, Uranus is what's called the higher octave of Mercury. It's the higher knowledge, higher energies of Mercury. All the personal planets have a higher octave energy, and that's what Uranus is. So we have this strong energy between Mercury and Uranus that is activating something deeper in your brain, in how you spend your days, in how you use time and what's important to you. And in Taurus, it's very realistic and practical. You become an observer of your life from a higher perspective. You zoom up and you zoom out and you say, now wait a minute. What am I even putting my time into? What am I investing in? Where am I really showing up in my life that matters to me? Because Taurus energy is about what we value. So you look at your life and you say, well, do I even value what I'm doing on a daily basis? And the Uranus energy is about change, okay? It's about seeing something in a new way, in a higher way. So it brings in new information. And because it's part of the cosmic energy and the higher self energy, it gives you a new understanding of yourself on this planet, of who you are, what you're about, what your gifts are, and what you want to do with yourself on a daily basis. It energizes and activates the Mercury energy, and I'm getting the visual right now of it activates something dormant in your brain, where you all of a sudden you see something differently, and you see your self-worth differently. You see your ability to make a impact or to help other people. This is a cosmic perspective that activates the Mercury energy, and it's sort of like Mercury gets plugged into a new electrical outlet, and you feel a zap and a zing, and you think, what am I doing with my life? It's that big, and it's also quite practical. Taurus is all about the real world, our money, our self-worth, our finances, what we do on a daily basis. It wants to see the proof. For Taurus, believing means you see proof. Seeing is believing. It isn't IOUs, it's show me the cash. Show me the money, and then I know it's real. So you have a new understanding of not only how you're spending your day, but money and the role of money in your world. And what does that mean for you? And is it supportive of you? And are you getting satisfaction and feeling fulfilled? Because we can get in the rat race and we can be chasing the money and, have golden handcuffs to a job. But this is bringing in a higher awareness for you around how you perceive money, how you receive money, how you create it, how you invest, because something is being activated in your deeper sense of self-worth. And that has another really important energy with this new moon that happens on the same day. So it's sort of like this day is a biggie, friends. It's like there's a lot that happens that you feel a shaking in yourself. Now, wherever this Taurus energy is in your chart is where that will show up. So the house placement in your chart. So there's big stuff here with Uranus being conjunct Mercury and wanting to change your daily life. Now, the other part of that is, well, you have to make money, you have to fulfill your duties and your responsibilities, and maybe you can't just, fill up your backpack and get out of town. But there's something here that comes through. And remember that this period, May 15th until November, is a sample, an appetizer. It's giving you some hints at what's going to come in even stronger in 2019. So you get new ideas about how you want to live your life and spend your days and make money. And then it's 2019 when we revisit that and we look at it again and say, okay, now what's really practical and what can I truly do? Also in this Ingress chart, we look to the ruler of Taurus, which is our girl Venus, and she's over here at 25 degrees of Gemini, 18 minutes, and she is conjunct Pallas Athena. Now, Pallas Athena is an asteroid. She is the goddess of war, but she is very creative. She's a warrior goddess. She is all about true, strong, feminine power. And when both of these are together in Gemini, we start to create different stories in our lives that matter to us. And you see and hear new information, different information, the other side of the coin, because Gemini is about duality. So you start to look at what you are doing again on a daily basis, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So the energy goes back to Mercury in Taurus. So what we're doing is looking at our daily lives and what matters and what has meaning to you and what needs to change. Where do you need to feel a deeper connection? Where do you need to feel that you're more in your truth and your gifts? The Gemini energy, it's very fast moving. It has stories to tell. It wants information. It wants to learn. It wants to teach. It wants to communicate. And so we have ideas that we want to share with people who get us. And we want those ideas to be real. So the energy here is like you get new ideas and downloads about your life and what matters to you and the possibilities for making money. You talk about it with your friends, people on the same wavelength, other women, and they give you ways to feel strong because that's what the Pallas Athena energy does. And she says, you can do this. You can make this happen. Let's take that idea, which is Gemini, and make it real. And in Taurus, we make it real by making it simple. And so the steps are 1, 2, 3. What can you do with this new insights, this new awareness to make it real? Now, the other energy that's really strong here is we've got a square with Uranus from our dude Mars, who's finishing up his time in Capricorn at 29 degrees. He moves into Aquarius just hours. I mean, look at that, 29 degrees, 46 minutes. He's just about to go into Aquarius, which is another fixed sign. So he keeps squaring Uranus, and he's squaring Mercury, and that means you want to take action, you want to break free, you want to get out, but something's slamming on the brakes and you don't like it, and you're pissed, and you want to be free. But Mars is about, especially in Capricorn and then into Aquarius, our responsibilities and how we have to use our ego and our drive in a responsible, more mature way that considers other people. And you can't just take off. And so this represents your own personal ego and feeling stalled, or that you have to put the brakes on. Whenever Uranus and Mars meet up, well, it's quite rebellious. Mars is the trigger, the catalyst, the provoker, the one who, wants to push it out. And so that's what he's doing here for Uranus. But a part of you could feel like, I don't have all the answers yet. And Mars is impatient and he's forcing you to know. And a part of you is like, I don't know yet. Give me time. Let me sit with this. So that is one of the main push and pulls here, my friends, is that your ego wants something to happen. And yet the bigger picture, remember, cosmic timing is saying you're just getting a preview. From May until November, you're getting a preview, and then in 2019, it will be clearer. So don't fight yourself. Don't fight, or even don't create more of a fight or more of a struggle than it's necessary. Timing is at hand here, and it will be clearer. So if you're feeling this big energy in May, give it some time. You may feel impulsive, you may feel ready, you may feel like you want to be set free of your daily life. This could show up as, changes in your finances of, I just want to be done with my student loans. I want to be done with this never-ending mortgage payment. I want to be done with these damn credit cards. So you look at your finances and what's holding you captive. And Mars is your ego saying, okay, I want more, I want better. Let's get this out. Let's get this done. But you know that there's timing involved, and that, things take time here in our human world. And right now, it's looking at what is your new vision of your daily life and how money plays a role in that new experience. And how money supports you, and how money works for you, and you don't work for money. Just think about that. Money works for you, you don't work for money. So we're really getting a taste here of how we want to use money, how we want it to support our bigger lives and dreams. And we're going to talk about it because Venus in Gemini, she's a talker. And she gets information. So it's a good time to do any kind of even research. Just consider the possibilities. Consider your options. 2 options. What are 2 options you can check out and pursue here? So it's quite a dynamic time. And I'm only going to stay focused on what's going on with Uranus in this chart. Clearly, there's other things going on, but let's stay focused on Uranus, because what also happens here is that Uranus and Mercury are also getting a trine from Saturn, and this is Vesta. Vesta is also an asteroid of home and hearth. And Saturn is giving the support for these long-term changes. So the support is going to come in later on in 2019. Right now, you're meant to be set free and to think about it differently, to think about something new and to open up the smallness of our own minds. Mercury in Taurus doesn't see the big picture at all. It just sees today and the current bills and the current bank account and, the beautiful things in life and your simple pleasures. It just looks at the here and now. But Uranus comes through and says, okay, you're meant to see this bigger. And when you start to see it bigger, then Saturn is like, well, I'm going to show you what you need to get there, but it's going to take work. So here's what I would recommend. Looking at this chart, we're getting a sample, May to November, of the new ways we want to live our lives, what we need to be set free from and what needs to change. Our work is to look at new solutions. That's what Uranus is, the new, unexpected solutions, the unconventional possibilities, and how it might come together and how it might work. And then when Uranus goes back into Taurus in March 2019, we get it really going. Okay, so you have time now to plan for what you want to change in 2019, what your new life or what that will look like for you. And again, it will depend on where 0 degrees of Taurus is in your natal chart. Okay, so here's my messy red squiggles and obviously all the energy right there. I hope this gave you some understanding of what to expect from May until November, and then I'll have a different video for you that talks more about Uranus entering Taurus and what that means more energetically, and how you might feel it and what will show up and what will change in our world, because this is the energy of earthquakes, of big things shifting so that they can be released. And how can you maintain your stability and know what to believe in and what to trust within the core of yourself. So check out that other video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you, and I will see you back here soon for another video.